beauty maxing, looks maxing. These are trends that actually blew up overnight on social media, and I'm not really surprised about it, okay? And honestly, for someone who was a beauty affiliate and used to work with brands wherein I get PR packages from brands sometimes and free samples, I'm not really surprised as to why it blew up all over social media, on TikTok, on YouTube, on Facebook, okay? Why? It's because beauty is currency that's being sold to you every second of the day whenever you watch something on TV or on ads or on reels or whatever. And there's this part of your brain that's activated whenever you see a good looking person and you say, how can I achieve that kind of beauty? And that's why beauty maxing became such a trend, especially on TikTok, because many people wanted to achieve their peak beauty because they believe that if you are good looking enough, if you are physically attractive enough, is that you will attract more opportunities than the usual, okay? So than average looking people. And that is partly true if you know how to monetize your face, okay? So if you work in an industry such as mine, I'm in the people industry, I work as a teacher, I'm working as a teacher, I work as a beauty affiliate, I'm doing social media content creation as part of my business. Your face is basically important, especially in person, okay? But it's not the only thing that you need in order to survive in an extremely competitive world that we have right now, because you need real skills to survive, okay, and to thrive and to have the longevity. If we're talking about good looking people, there is no shortage of good looking people all over the world. There's always going to be a prettier girl. There's always going to be someone who can exceed what you already have, no matter how hard it is that you try. So, what I'm trying to say is that you can join the trend of looks maxing or beauty maxing. However, your goal must be achieving your peak beauty in order to be your best self, not in comparison to anyone else, but actually for you to be your best self. Mhm. Because when it comes to um, the attractiveness premium or the beauty premium, I think we have a certain peak age that we are attractive. We also have what we call as the late bloomers, wherein these are women who are more attractive when they reach their 40s or even 50s or late 30s. And that's also something very possible with the technology that we have now, with the skincare that we have now, as compared to the past. Okay. So, what I'm trying to say is beauty maxing and looks maxing is not really just a trend, it's a lifestyle. Okay. So if you want to achieve your best looking self, you have to have habits that would allow you to maintain it for a long period of time. Because, honey, okay, a glow up is not just a day or two or a week or a month. Sometimes it takes years for you to actually achieve the glow up that you need in order for you to attain the looks that you always wanted to have. Okay. And you need patience, money, and perseverance for that. Now, there are two important terms that you must remember when it comes to beauty maxing or looks maxing, and that is soft maxing and hard maxing. Now, soft maxing can be anything like skincare, supplements, anything non invasive. Or, for example, you're changing your wardrobe, like what I'm doing right now. Honestly, like I'm selling my old clothes and I'm going to use the money, whatever I use, whatever money I get from selling old clothes to buy new ones. Okay. So, that's soft maxing. Now, the extremes would be like hard maxing, which entails plastic surgery. These are probably more expensive procedures like laser treatments or, I don't know, CO2 laser treatments, or you need to go to the dermatologist every now and then to get that clear skin. Okay. And soft maxing and hard maxing, it depends on you which one you like better. For me, I prefer the soft maxing, honestly. When people ask me how long it took me to do my glow up, it took me 2 years. It was a very slow process because I needed to experiment like what supplements work for me, which collagen is better, which glutathione is better for me. So it took me a long time to be able to discover what are the products that work for me, because skincare and supplements can be trial and error, and you need sometimes to, to shell out money and to take the risk, okay? Because a supplement can work perfectly fine when it comes to me, but when another person takes it, it doesn't do its magic. Okay, so something like that. That's why it's a tricky. It's something very tricky, and it's the same thing with skincare. So for skincare, what I did was I tried different products. Like for example, this one. So this is a product from Thailand. So usually I don't use body serums in the past because I used to think it's not necessary. You're just spending extra cash for what? But I incorporated body serums now, and then body oil, which I don't really use before. So it can be more expensive. Even soft maxing can be quite expensive. Now, there are other things that you need to work on, especially like your personal style. Okay, your how do you like others to perceive you? Okay, do you like people to perceive you as sexy, as professional, as feminine? Okay, so you sometimes need to curate your wardrobe in a way that would represent that the type of person that you want other people to see. So it can be, what can I say? Like, it can be time consuming, and it's not an overnight process. You really have to put in the work. Like, you need to put in a lot of work, okay, in order for you to achieve your best look. And also exercising. Yeah, like for me, exercise is part of my day. It's the first thing that I do in the morning after waking up, after washing my face and everything. And you need to do it consistently. If you want to maintain your weight, if you want to be fit, then you need to invest the time as well. Okay, so a glow up, whether it's soft maxing, hard maxing, there is a process for that. So it's not like it's gonna happen overnight. You need to develop habits that's gonna stick with you for a long period of time until it becomes second nature for you to do it. Now, how can your looks help you when it comes to the professional setting or even your personal relationships? Okay, because it's the first thing that people see. Okay, I remember when I went to El Nido, Palawan. I was talking. I met a British guy, and then I don't know. We were asking random questions to each other, and I asked him, "What's the first thing you notice when you see a girl?" Okay, and then he said, Of course, looks." Yeah, because when you first see someone, especially a woman, a girl, you're not gonna be able to read their personality in the first 5 minutes. So, and that's the reality of relationships, building relationships these days. Now, beauty can be in the eye of the beholder. I think people have a certain type when it comes to physical appearance. So you can be the prettiest girl, and everyone perceives you as pretty. But for example, a guy would not say she's not my would probably say she's not my type. She's pretty, but she's not my type. Okay. So I was watching like a clip on Facebook Reels, and she's an actress. She's Bea Alonso, and she's very good looking. She's naturally beautiful. She was born beautiful. And then she said there was this guy that she met, and she was like mesmerized, but the guy didn't really take notice of her, or the guy did not initiate any conversation or anything. And then she said that I'm not his type. Okay, so that's the reality of life. Like, beauty can be objective and subjective, so it really depends on like who is looking at you. So you cannot please everybody. You can be a pretty girl, but for somebody else you're not. Okay, but the most important thing is to be pretty for yourself first. Okay, because if you're always seeking external validation, I don't think that's something sustainable, especially for long term. Okay, it's not sustainable, especially for long term. Now, another thing that I want to say is that in the professional setting these days, I see a lot of job advertisements, and it says we're looking for someone with pleasing personality. Okay, and it's funny because before, people would just look for, you need to be a 4-year graduate of this degree, or you need experience in this one or that one. But these days, some companies are looking for someone specific. There's like a certain look that you must have, especially if you're in the modeling industry or you're in sales. And in South Korea, that's much more common, because in South Korea, beauty is more like ingrained in their society, and that they would be very direct and straightforward with what kind of person they're looking for, especially when it comes to the aesthetics part. Okay, and it can be a little bit frustrating, of course, for people like, hey, I studied really really hard, why people don't take notice of how hard I work. Now, beauty can, as I mentioned, open doors for you, because it is important, but it cannot keep the doors open if that's the only thing you have. So you have to develop other aspects of yourself, like IQ maxing, money maxing, your personality, your habits. Okay, how you interact with people would also help a lot. Okay, being friendly also helps. How you network with people, because at the end of the day, you don't want to be good looking and just be a rude person, right? So there. I hope that you enjoy today's episode, and I'll see you again on the next one.